Hello and welcome to the Xamarin Forms course. Now, in this course, we will be covering Xamarin Forms in a very simple, straightforward and useful way. We will be looking at two things or two options of Xamarin Forms. The first one is Android and the other one is UWP. Okay, so Android is obviously for Android and UWP would be for Windows devices, Xbox and the like. Okay, we are not looking into the iOS because it is quite expensive to get started with that, and most beginner developers probably will not get into that right away, so it's a good start. However, once you learn this, you will be able to start with that as well. And as you will find throughout the course, Xamarin Forms is pretty much all the time cross-platform. In some case, you will need to find some variables, insert some variables, or provide some access levels in different platforms, and we will figure it out how to do all that for each specific platform when need be. Okay, so the curriculum of ours is quite simple, and as I mentioned before, the whole course will be very straightforward, so it won't take too much of your time, and we will cover all the essentials of Xamarin. We will start with the basics of application, how it starts, where it begins, what is the whole structure of files in the main template that you get from Visual Studio. We will of course be using Visual Studio for Xamarin development. There's no better option than that, and we will get started from there. We will take a look where it all starts, and then we will of course cover some of the elements, some of the components, some of the elements, user interface elements. That is, we will take a look at the events, of course, for each element, how to use them, how to find them, where to use them. And then we will also get into some device access options, for example, taking a picture, finding the location, finding the GPS location, and finding the name for the location. And then we will of course cover the basics such as navigation and the like. And finally, what we will do, we will take a look at how you would upload the assets, meaning the images, the logos, the icons, and the name for the application that gets displayed, and basically do all that stuff that you do before the release of your application. And of course, as every of my courses, this course will also have resources for each lecture. You will have some kind of a code file, so you will be able to play around with the code that you have seen in the lecture. So now that you know what the course will entail, let's get started with the actual course.